Hey guys, Axe here, back again with another video, and today we're talking about a very debated topic that has been in the Honkai Star Rail community as of late, which is the character Rappa. She is being absolutely destroyed on Twitter and pretty much everywhere. Everyone's calling her Skippa, saying she looks like a Fortnite skin, saying she's bad. So I wanted to just come on and talk about that a little bit, quickly describe her kit, and why she's actually way better than people are making her out to be. She has very good future potential, and even if you're going to skip her, that's actually not really a bad thing. So real quick before the video starts, less than 1% of my viewers are actually subscribed, and the channel has been doing very well recently in terms of views, so if you want to subscribe, that would be greatly appreciated. It helps me out a lot, and helps keeping the content going. But anyways, let's get back into the video. So if you don't know what Rappa does, or you forgot, here's what she does. Rappa's an imaginary Erudition character who's focused on weakness breaking and Superbreak damage, and similar to a character like Firefly. Her kit is a lot of yapping, but all you need to know is that she gets an enhanced state with a basic attack through her ultimate, and stacks more damage after breaking enemies, and can reduce toughness regardless of weakness type like Acheron, with those stacks in her enhanced basic attack. So you may be wondering, she's a break character, and she can use Super Break, so what's the issue here? Her biggest downside is that people have been preaching to the high heavens that she cannot implant imaginary weakness on the enemies like her other break buddies. And while that can be a negative, I don't think it's as bad as downside as people are making it out to be. And here's why. There are so many enemies that are weak to imaginary now. More often than not, one side of either game modes are going to be imaginary weak. So you're going to have no problem slotting in Rappa and just destroying everything. And, you know, since she's going to be a new character, they're going to be shilling imaginary weakness for at least the next few months. So get ready for that, and Rappa's going to be amazing there. And another reason why people seem to dislike her, which is not really necessarily related to her, it's more related to a lack of her. We have not seen her in the story at all. And characters that we don't see in the story at all tend to not be very hyped up, and sometimes people just don't like them. Take a character like Boothill, for example. He wasn't in the story at all until he got drip marketed. We knew basically nothing about him. And then he came out, and he was one of the best characters in the game, and he still is. I think something like that's going to happen to Rappa, because we're going to get more of her in the 2.6 story. People are going to grow on her, people are going to start liking her, and people are probably still going to pull for her. And despite the sheer amount of doom posting for this girl that I have seen all over social media, from her kit and from her creator experience gameplay, she's looking way better than people make her out to be. If I had to take a guess on her tier placements, I would easily see tier 0 in Pure Fiction, as she's an Erudition character. Erudition dominates that mode, and Super Break is really good in that mode as well. So I would say tier 0 in Pure Fiction. Quite strong in Apocalypse Shadow, maybe tier 0.5. I don't know if she's as good as characters like Firefly and Boothill there, but she's definitely going to be up there, as that mode is entirely break focused. So she's going to be good there too. And in MOC, I don't know. It's hard to say. I think probably tier 0.5 is where she's going to be. Maybe tier 1. Definitely not tier 0. But she's still quite good. Her being a Super Break character makes her innately good. It's sort of like Hyper Bloom from Genshin Impact, where any dog shit character can be decent with Hyper Bloom. And Rappa is made to break, meaning she's going to excel there already. And the best thing is, break is still definitely going to get upgrades in the future. We all know Harmon MC is way too good to be free, and I wouldn't be surprised if a character like Ron May got replaced as well, meaning she's only going to get better with time. The problem that I have with all of this is that people are making her out to be a dysfunctional, terrible character, which is just flat out wrong. They do this a lot of times when characters release. You guys remember 10% better than Sambo about Black Swan. Look how that turned out. And now that we have creator experience server footage, people are finally starting to realize, wait a minute, this character is actually pretty good. She is the AoE version of Firefly. Now we have Boothill for single target, Firefly for blast damage, and Rappa for AoE. So now all those three niches are filled, and they can all be used in their respective game modes. some being better than others, but they're still all going to be amazing, as of how broken Superbreak is. Her not being a whole must pull is actually a good thing. I mean, aren't these the same people that are saying how bad the power creep is? If we don't get a unit that's just balanced and a side grade to units that we already have, then that's going to help stop the power creep. So this is a positive. And if you don't pull her, hey, you can save for, Aventurine, Sunday, Fugue, all that. So not really losing much, to be honest. Next thing I wanted to talk about was just Erudition in general. So I saw a comment on a video the other day that said something along the lines of, Hoyoverse cares about all 3 modes equally and not just MOC. But people only look at the game from an MOC standpoint. That's why characters like Jade were said to be mid and said to not be worth pulling, because she was locked to pure fiction. And then we turned out that that's not really the case. She actually does quite well with Blade and pure fiction and MOC. And then characters like Argenti, who are not very popular, are actually quite good in that game mode. So I don't think pulling a character for a specific game mode is necessarily a problem, or having a character built for a specific game mode is a problem either, because you're going to want to fill those character slots. Having a character like Jade, Argenti, and characters like that can very much help you in the modes that you might be struggling in that you wouldn't be able to do before. I know there are people who full clear MOC, but don't clear pure fiction because they don't have the units or they don't have the investment. So pulling a character like Rappa actually might be quite good for them. It all depends on your account, really. Now, I personally have Firefly, and I plan to pull Boot Hill on Tree Run because I love him. So I don't know if I'm going to go for Rappa personally. But would I recommend Rappa to someone who wants to play Break and likes her character? Absolutely. I think she's a pretty good unit. But we're going to have to see when she comes out how well she does. But I would like to just remind people that we have to keep an open mind about units. I am guilty of this myself. I heavily underestimated Jiao Cho when he came out, and he's actually quite good. So hopefully people will start realizing, hey, this character might actually not be so bad, instead of hyperfixating on a character being absolute dog shit, which is just not true, because every character that they've released so far in 2.x has been really good. So that's all I really want to say about this video. This video isn't made to shield Rappa or anything. I'm not paid by Horrorverse. I'll probably never be paid for Horrorverse. I mean, if they want to sponsor me, sure, but I'm a 50 sub Andy, so they're not going to know who I am, but hey, if you want to do it, my email's open. But anyways, that's all I want to talk about. The tier list update video will be out sometime next week. I'm not sure when. I've been pretty busy, but I wanted to get this little video out here for Rappa before she comes out. So that's all I really want to talk about today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, and I'll see you next time. Peace.